leaving here. I'm just a raggedy hobo. Lord, I'm leaving here. I'm just a raggedy hobo. Well, that woman I'm in love with, Lord, she's got to go. Get yourself a money man. Goodbye, mama. Lord, get yourself a money man. You take that midnight train to Memphis. Lord, leave if you can. Oh, take that midnight train to Memphis. Lord, leave if you can. Oh, take it
Frank, hey Frank. Love the music. Is that like your favorite song?
No, I just, I don't know. It just pops up on my thing, you know.
I get it. Is that you back? All right, cool. No, it's so Frank. Everybody's starting to pour in. It's Friday night, and it's like what we call this the real trucker talk we got going on here, like where everybody comes on. We'll see if we can even get going here if we don't get blocked before we ever get started, you know?
Yeah, that'd be good. I shouldn't be getting blocked anymore. I changed everything and took it all back private, so I should be okay. I should be good to go.
Oh no, I don't think they like you very much.
They don't. They don't.
You gotta stop.
It's not so much me. It's the people I hang around with. You know what I'm saying?
So what did you have going on, man? It's been a long week since we're on. What did you have going? Oh, we got people rolling in. Barb's always here. Barb's in the house. Guys, welcome to the, before we get going, welcome to Real Trucker Talk. And we're here every Friday night at 8, and we've been rolling consistently. And we're getting a lot of feedback from people that watch the channel and stuff. We have a really good show tonight. We're going to talk about fuel surcharge, keeping your fuel surcharge, understand what fuel surcharge is, why load boards are misleading because they lie about fuel surcharge, and they lie about a lot of stuff. And we have Trucking Week coming up next week. And then Frank's been selling trucks like crazy, I know. And then people are, I mean, it's crazy because, like, in one world, people are bitching about brokers, cheap freight rates, the market. The other fucking side of the world, guys, people just waiting for people to lose their fucking trucks.
You know what I'm finding out there is that no matter what you tell some people, they'll argue with you. But you know, the people that are paying attention, the people that are taking in the information and actually using it, they're doing really well. I mean, out of your group and my group, I mean, I can't even get trucks fast enough for those guys. They're building, they're buying trucks. They've got drivers for their trucks. They got freight to haul. They got relationships. They got steady lanes. And still, every single day, you find people that'll argue with you. Well, I don't know. I get really good loads from them guys. You wouldn't know a good load if it was pissing on your leg. I mean, I don't know what
crazy. It was, it's crazy. Last week we were in broker class, right? We had Angie on, and that was a freaking crazy class, man. Like, shit, dude. We started at 6 o'clock 4 nights. We got in trouble for your music again. That's what happened. It's right there on the screen. It's right here. Oh, it's right there. I'm looking at, or something. That's what happened last time. I had to fix it.
It's not the music, I'm telling you.
I don't know what the hell.
Because I do it all. I do it all the time, and that's not what it is.
Let's see what it is. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Hey, anyways, had a buddy get his truck blown over by the wind, even with 40,000 pounds in the box. Send him Frank's way. Yeah,
Cool.
they're coming keep them coming, right, Frank?
Yeah, bring them. I got 1, 2, 3 trucks left right now. I got 3. I got 2 Peterbilts and actually I got 4. I got 2 Peterbilts and 2 Freightliners. So I mean, it's a little bit of something for everybody. I got, a Peterbilt that's 90,000. I got one that was 65,000, and I got 2 Freightliners that are 35. So we try to hit the prices, that people. Joe says, Frank, thank you for hooking us up with Jennifer at Husky. I'm going to tell you something, Joe. There's just no better people in the world than
look, but it's still students.
Yeah. They went through the classes here with Shaggy, a while back, and they joined our group, the G3 group, too. After that, and they're just, man, Jennifer's gonna have to have some help, man. She's just banging. I mean, she is banging. That's another one of those ones I'm talking about. They go through the class, they get the information, they use the information, and they're blowing up. They're getting bigger by the minute. But hey, you know me, man. I think everybody ought to do whatever they want to do. If they just want to.
It's the same thing. We're not going to twist their arm no more. I'm tired of twist their arm. You know how many people call me? They're like, hey, can you help me with insurance? I'm like, cool. What kind of equipment are you doing? And then you start talking about it. And you're like, what are you going to do if this happens? I don't want to hear about that if it happens, but it's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen. Then these guys are like, so if Amazon quits on you and the contract doesn't work at night, what are you going to do when you're already invested? Or this happens or that happens? Why don't they want to hear? Why do we don't care?
I don't know. You try to help. That really, and you said this the other day. Well, our job is to get on here and give information. There's Betty. What up, Betty?
Hi, Betty.
You get on here and you try to give out information. You try to do stuff to help people, and that's about all you can do.
Really are we really fighting that much of a misleading battle? Because it's like everybody we talk to that's come from all these other angles, or we've talked to whether it's other schools and stuff. Like even when my class, I can't even spend time in my classes anymore talking about the easy stuff because we have to work so hard on the hard stuff because people don't know how to talk.
I don't know. Like I said, I think it's worth it, and I'll tell you why. I see guys like Eddie Dion. Eddie went through the classes. Eddie took the classes, and he was standing in the shop today, man. It was cool. You should have been in there because you'd have loved this. He was standing in the shop explaining all this to me. Okay? He's sitting there going, well, let me tell you how this shit works, Frank. Here's what we're doing. And he's and it's like, he said, are you listening to me? And I said, Eddie, I've heard this somewhere. I don't know where, but Jonathan say, Shaggy, save us from these drivers that don't even know the basis of having their own authority. They send invoices to brokers, no invoices, don't know what an invoice is. You have drivers going down the road or moving loads without a bill of lading and delivering loads without getting a proof of delivery. I mean, that's trucking 101, I mean,
but that's the problem, though, because he's right. They jump in and get their authority so fast to listen to a dispatcher, listen to this, listen to that, and they think that's the way it is.
It's not the way it is. It's not
but
the way
it works. That's what they think. Like, we preached this for like 4 years now. We've been doing this for 4 years on either Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, or something.
Hey, y'all.
That's Roger Jones.
Oh, Roger. See, I got Facebook user. He must be on one of our pages.
He's in the group.
Oh, okay.
Because we're everywhere now. Like, hey guys, so like if you're tuning in right now, that's Frank G. I'm Shaggy. And so we got new people coming in, some of the regulars. Every Friday night at 8, we're talking. Tonight, we're going to be talking to you new trucking companies coming in because you're going to be the problem, right? And it is the problem, like what John is. We want to talk about knowing what a fuel surcharge is, knowing how to hold your rates. We want to talk about why many different reasons why just by using a load board, you're getting fucked out of your money. You're getting screwed, and you're the one that's letting it happen. You're letting it happen. They're not letting it happen. They're doing it to you. You're letting it happen. We even seen Frank the other night when we were doing training, we had our brokerage open and Angie was in there. And it's funny because she was negotiating with a carrier, right? That she had emailed. And they were talking because she seen that he lived in Utica and he was on this side. They needed a truck. And she showed everybody how in the class how much she really had in the load. And it's funny is everybody in the class is talking about how it goes up on the load board one week, it's down on the load board the next week, it's up this month, it's down that month. And I guarantee the customers change to a point. But you and I both know once you get the rates up there and you're holding them, or when you work your way up, when they're moving the freight, I'm telling you, the customer's not having a problem. So it's the difference. The guy settled for 3,300 and he could have got more, even though it was already a good rate. There was so much more into the load, but they don't know what to negotiate.
I don't even know. I don't know how many people know what a fuel surcharge is. I know that a lot of people know that. Hey, Jesse, I know that a lot of people know that you add it to your rate to make up for the cost of fuel. But I don't know if you know that the fuel surcharge came up with and developed by the federal government. And what it was designed to do is to protect the carrier in the event that fuel costs rose during a certain bid period. For instance, if you bid your rates for a year and fuel goes up during that year, fuel surcharge is designed to offset the carrier's cost in that event. That's what it's for. So, when somebody tells you, well, yeah, I'll tell you this, bro, he said it's in the rate. Let me translate that for you. That means he's fucking you out of some or all of it, because it needs to be separate, people. It needs to be separate for two reasons. One, to make sure that you're collecting it, to make sure you get it. And the other one is for tax purposes. If these brokers just sit there and feed you rate confirmations, or even your customers, okay? Even if you got customers that do that and feed you rate confirmations, they're not leaving any allowance in there for the fuel. And fuel is a cost. It is a deductible cost, okay? So don't let them do that. They're showing that on their taxes as 100% write-off, and they're denying you the ability to do that. Don't let them do that. Some drivers don't know what a blind shipment is, let alone double. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I mean, that's out there. Blind shipment. Well, that's a whole nother story. But the fuel surcharge right now, I'm going to tell you right now, with all this shit going on in Europe, fuel is it. I pull up to the pump, Shaggy, on my way to the shop this morning. I had Frank 3 with me, and we were hanging out and talking and, bebopping around. I pulled up to the pump, and the price at the pump was $3.24. So I pulled in there. I turned the thing off. I turned the thing off, stick my credit card in there, put it in there, start pumping. While I was pumping my fuel, the little girl came out there and changed the pumps and went up 35 cents. I still got my fuel. I bitched at her. I said, no. I started first. She said, I know. So I got my fuel for $3.24. When I left, it was $3.59. That was in 1 minute. We went up to the shop. We spent the day up there. Eddie came in and we, messed around with some trucks and did this and that. And he bought a truck. And when we're coming back, it's $3.59 and $3.69 on the way home. That's in 1 day, from $3.24 to $3.69. And the price of diesel fuel was right behind it. Okay, so with this shit going on in Europe right now, the way we're intertwined globally with our oil production, and have been for 40 years, it's not a new thing. It's not a new deal, all right? The way we're intertwined with all that globally, fuel's going to go up big. And if you don't understand your fuel surcharge, the big brokers, especially the big brokers, and these customers are going to try.
The ones on the load boards?
Yeah. They're going to try to beat you out of it. That's a way for them to cut your rates.
Oh, we don't charge for the fuel surcharges.
Yeah. See, well, this customer doesn't pay that, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Shaggy. I'm I'm going to give you an extra 20 cents out of my money. I ain't going to make nothing. But I'll give you an extra 20 cents out of my money just to make up for it. Because I know you guys are having a tough time. In the meantime, they just jacked the customer's rate up by 60 cents.
Oh, so you're saying they're bidding it with the rate in it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they are?
Oh, yeah.
Are the customers paying it?
Yeah, the customers are paying it. The customers, most of them, they're used to it. You know, they see it coming. They know it's coming. They know it's, I guarantee you. And they're all looking at it going, shit, here we go. You know, rates are already higher than they've ever been.
Well, all
these guys getting on social media going, the rates are falling down. I don't know where the fuck you're finding your
see, you got a problem though, because you're trying to explain to all these guys that out there what fuel surcharge is, but they don't. But before they can learn what fuel surcharge is, what the fuck is their rate? Like everybody asks about bidding stuff, it's like, what the fuck is your rate? Is your rate what it says on the 15-day average, or that fuel surcharge next to it? Because it's not always accurate, is it?
You know, for years and years and years, we always tell guys, you and I've been doing it for years. We tell guys, you know, your rate is your cost plus your profit margin. That's your rate. That's what it is. And everybody's cost is different. Everybody's cost. Well, you know, when the internet came in and the low boards came in and everybody came in and everybody started bidding the same fucking rates for everything, then the customers got, oh, we can do this. These guys that are 20 cents higher, we'll tell them we can get it done cheaper. And that's a game. That's a tactic. That's a game. Your rate is what your rate is. Give them your rate. And we've been through this 1,000 times. You don't have to be the first call carrier to get freight. You don't have to.
Every time I bid my rate, another guy comes in and knows his rate and takes it for a cheaper rate.
No, let him have it because they'll call you back. Sell service. Don't sell rates. Sell service. Go, hey, you know what? I've been doing a good job for you for a year. I've picked up your loads. I've delivered them on time. I've never had a claim. I've never made any of your customers mad or offended any of your customers and all that. But if you want to use one of these brokers because they're going to save you 4 cents a mile, have at it. But when I come back, my rate's going to go up 10 cents a mile.
That's so funny. But that's because you're a broker. You know what I mean? Because you're brokers. You guys make all the money. You don't need trucks. You guys steal all the cash and stuff like that. Because you don't care about what we have to make. All you do is throw your shit on the low boards, Frank. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Jonathan said, just because your cost is less, does that mean you should work for less, or you should always be pushing for the most you can possibly can when playing the spot market? Yeah, Jonathan, as long as you understand that brokers are in business for the same reason you are, to make money.
Here comes the guy. Oh, yeah, you should push the market all you want because you never pay for messing up the market on the other end. You don't do any of that. You know, then when the tires get high and everything else and you're out there, and then you're the guy out there pushing the market up. And when you push it to the places to get the market up, you're getting fucking stuck in fucking dumbass places because you're freight chasing, pushing the rates up. And then you're the guy, that's the guy that comes to you and says, yeah, man, I make $5 a mile. And you're like, oh, so every mile you make $5? Every one of them? All 3,000 miles every week for 52 weeks. That's what you do every week. Shit, damn, man. You should have like what, $300,000, $400,000 in the bank after you pay your truck, trailer, fuel.
You ought to be making $7,500 a week clear. Take home after everything.
Killing it.
7,500.
Most people.
Who cares about fuel?
Let's go. Let's keep going. So Frank. So, okay, so you got that mentality and the low board shut down. Everybody you had 6 months ago for the last 6 months, they're not paying no more. Not TQL, not CH Robbins, not Aula, not Matt and Mercer, not Edge, Lipsy. None of those guys. None of them. Coyote, Molo, all your friends at them because they're count reps and somebody above them says the supply and demand has changed and now you're all fucked. I mean, did you just see the reports where all these companies are sending letters to like United States saying, hey, go fuck your ports. We're not losing money no more. We're not even going to bring this shit to you. What if that really does happen?
It does happen sometimes.
I know.
It does.
I know. So what's going to do to everybody who's been licking their chops in the ports when it reverses? What happens when there's suddenly more trucks than freight because people aren't back to work?
Go haul chickens for chicken scratch, I guess. Do what you did 2 years ago when freight was 80 cents. Do that. You know the thing we try to push all the time on your page and my page both, and everybody we talk to, and all the people we talk to in the industry, and that's a lot of people all day, every day, all day, every day.
And the reason
It's
why
really not up to anybody but us. Let's look at this. The big carriers, the mega carriers, Swift, CR England, all those guys. Okay, the big mega carriers, they don't haul broker freight. They don't do it. They don't do it. Night Transport takes great pride in telling people we don't haul broker freight and never have and never will. They've got company freight all over the place. And if they don't,
broker it though,
huh?
they'll sure broker their.
Oh yeah, they'll sell it to you, but they're not buying it from you. That's for damn sure. But they'll deadhead a truck 300 miles just so they don't have to pick up somebody else's freight. Okay, so those guys are not the guys that these brokers depend on. These brokers depend on us, the guys with 5 trucks, the guys with 10 trucks, the guys with 20 trucks. That's what they live on. That's what they depend on. That's why they're in business.
So are you trying to say that a broker needs to know how to pay the fuel surcharge and keep the fucking rates up to maintain their drivers?
He better if he wants to be around.
So the drivers dictate the rates again.
The drivers have always dictated.
I got it. Oh my God. So like you're not holding a gun to your head ever on any load board or anything. It's like when you have your authority, you get the choice to buy your own truck, your own trailer, what type of freight you pull.
Yeah.
So you mean, like when you sign up for the load board, there's nothing that says Frank's coming to shoot you if you don't use these fucking brokers.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to start next week, because we had kind of a weird week, okay? Next week, we're going to start calling up carriers, and we're going to require them to haul our loads for whatever we tell them. We're just going to call them up and say, I got these loads are going to New York.
That's already started.
And they're $1.70 a mile, and you will go pick it up.
Oh,
you will go pick it up.
Definitely. It was in your subscription when you signed up for that.
Exactly. Don't make me come to your house, okay? Or report you to the carrier, Be Live carrier 411 shit.
We will. Don't do that. So much trouble.
You don't want to wake up tomorrow morning and be on that list. I'm just telling you. So you will haul my freight for what I tell you. That's never happened.
So it's really funny. Like last night we were on that one site that the name's all over the place. Frank, what is that place called? We were looking on there, right? And you wonder, your whole goal was it to be on a load board, or was it to get an authority and have customers? Because it's weird, because you see half the industry that goes after customers, they become brokers, they're adding owner operators, they're diversifying, they're doing all kinds of stuff, and the other half are just focused on load boards, dispatching services, adding company trucks, debt, quick pays, one paycheck to the next. The minute it's up, you're doing good. As soon as it's down, you don't know what the fuck happened. You're always that one guy when it all disappears going, damn, man, Frank, where were those brokers that were just paying like $5 a mile like 4 months ago?
They're gone. They're not there anymore.
Where they at?
They panic. They get in panic mode. And they just panic and start doing bad decisions, one right after the other, But the big guys have a plan. They have a strategy. They have an operations module that they follow to stay in business. And their markup's going to be their markup. So you better make sure yours is. You better. The majority of carriers rely heavily on the load boards. Yeah.
Why did they have to live on the load board when I could go to ecarriercheck.com? On the load board, me and Frank were just on it tonight. On the load board, when we were on the load board, we were looking at Dallas, and there's maybe 100 brokers posting, and probably not one of them was located in Dallas. Maybe like 30, or let's say 20% were Dallas, and we literally counted them. Me and Frank, when the class went right on eCarrier check, we found almost 2,200 brokers within a 50-mile radius of Dallas that were 2 years in business plus. That was just Dallas. You know, you think about it, Frank. We show in classes all the time. You talk about it, I talk about it. And you think about it. Why does a carrier wait to the last minute when a dispatching service that don't even own a truck, don't even have nothing invested but a dispatching service, was smart enough to get a load board before, well, some of them, for through DAT before they don't ever go active, and they already have one. But a carrier waits to the last minute to start finding brokers like you. Why? There's
I don't
something
know.
that says they can't.
We don't put our shit on load boards, and Trimble. Majority of carriers rely heavy on load boards. No, they don't. You're wrong.
Nope.
That is absolutely incorrect. They do not. The
This
big carriers,
service
are not on the load boards at all. Zero. And the small carriers that are out there, most of them have figured out by now that they need to have relationships with people. I move 45 to 50 loads a day. I don't put any loads on load board. I don't have to. I call my
Anthony's in the house. No, not really, too. And you see it too because if you post a really good load, like on a load board or whatever, you'll see it. It's not small carriers that you might as call it. It's carriers that are being dispatched by fucking dispatching services, co-brokers, double brokers, and fraud. The majority of carriers that are calling like that, especially in this market, I think this is the easiest market in the world for a carrier to get a customer.
I do too. I do too.
What's up, Greg? He doesn't say hi to Frank. That's Greg, right? He says hi to Shaggy.
He says Anthony. He calls you
Anthony?
Anthony. He must think he's your grandmother.
That's just the guy that's known me for longer than you.
Oh, okay.
No low boards allowed, Anthony says. Get your own stuff. And it's surprising enough. Do you know how many brokers aren't on the load boards anymore? Even the big ones, like look at Hub Group. When do you see them on a load board?
They don't have to. They don't have to.
They're not. They're not. They're all. So many are changing. That's like that. Like you go on a load board and you look at it, and there's 100 loads in Dallas, and and out of those, well, there might be 1,000 loads in Dallas. Well, fuck. 900 of them are triple posted, double posted, co-posted, double brokered, and everything else. Only 100 of them are the ones you want, and there's 8,000 guys fighting for them.
Same trucks. There's 8,000 brokers fighting for the same load and 8,000 trucks fighting for the same load all at the same time.
So why don't you take time? Why don't you take time using a system? Here's the thing for you. We can talk about the system e-carrier check, right? We'll pause because I got the questions right here. My questions for the night that we're going to do, but we'll pause for a second about load boards because, in old days before even Dial a Truck popped up, right, Frank? Remember those?
Yeah.
I wasn't here. But Dial a Truck was like the first thing when what's his name built Dial a Truck, then DAT and Get Loaded were around. When those guys were around, man, I remember when guys didn't even use Dial a Truck because it was only on the fucking screen on a truck stop wall. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So how did you get loads back then?
You had to know somebody. You had to have somebody's phone number. You had to know them. You had to have a relationship with them. You had to do it. So I think the only thing people should be using load boards for now is if you absolutely don't know anybody, you'd be surprised how many parties might be involved to take a cut. I'm not surprised at that. I know they do.
We're not surprised at all. That's what's this one? My deceased husband was an owner-operator, and I make sure that my carriers are paid well above what most brokers pay. He told me that I should be fair to the truckers because they are doing the work. But he never explained fuel surcharge to me. I am truly lost. My carriers have said I pay more for the loads than others on the boards, but I work full-time on another job, and I only broker part-time now. My drivers are mostly regular drivers. Thanks in advance for your info. I'm getting off now. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, we just talked about fuel surcharge, Marilyn. I don't know if that helped you or not.
We'll flip it out there again.
Fuel surcharge is a charge that was set up by the government years and years ago to offset the cost of rising fuel for carriers to add to their rates or subtract from their rates, as the case may be, as fuel fluctuates during a certain bidding period, a year. That's what it's for. That's what it does. And right now, It's just going. In fact, they update it every Monday afternoon, and it hits the internet on Tuesday morning. As fast as fuel's going up right now, they won't catch up for a month. They'll be behind what you should be charging for a month. So you really have to add your own fuel surcharge in there. I use the load board to see what the competition is paying. Okay.
That's Anthony. Yeah, a lot of people do that to see on their bid. But see, even if you're looking at the competition's paying, if you don't have the trucks to move it or the credit with your brokerage to cover it, then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing with the carrier check. But that's the thing with the carrier check, right? So ecarriercheck.com, when you look at ecarriercheck.com, imagine when you started out 900 years ago, right? Or when I started out, I'm not that old, so I can't say that, but a few years ago. So when I started out, either one of us started out when you still had to really do research to get anything. It didn't fall out. Like you literally had to find it on the load board, see it through there. We didn't have stuff like eCarrier. Imagine back in the day that if you could go and type into a system your MC number and find carriers hauling freight for customers within a 100-mile radius when you first start. You know they're hauling for either their broker or that customer because it says right there in the system.
Somebody's doing it. It's not, it wasn't, the freight just wasn't sitting in a box on the dock until you came along. Somebody's doing it. And these guys at eCarrier figured out how to find out who's doing it, how to track who's doing it, and post it up there so you know who your competition is. And that can tell you a lot of things. That can tell you your frequency. That can tell you your load densities. That can tell you your rates. I mean, it's a lot of stuff.
Like all from that, you can't find any of that on the load board.
It's not there. It's not. The load board's not designed to help you. It's not designed to help you.
So you're trying to say I could go to eCarrier Check, right? And find a whole bunch of brokers in the town that I'm going to ahead, right?
Yeah.
And then send them an email. Are we talking about freight chasing or actually doing something kind of dedicated? Like having a pattern? That's a good question because if you're freight chasing, you probably don't need any of this shit. Just keep using the load board. But if you're trying to build a relationship or something or stay in a certain area, are you trying to say you go on eCarrier Check and pick the brokers ahead of time, credit check them? And then you can send them an email telling them what you need ahead of time and tell them your truck's available right there.
Yeah.
These aren't on the load board either.
That's what people do with us. You know, they know that we get our loads on Thursday for next week. They start calling Thursday afternoon. Hey, dude, what do you got for me for next week? Well, okay. Oh, you're the guy that runs Chicago. Yeah, I got 5 of those next week. I got them. How many do you want? Yeah, go ahead and give them to me. I can cover them. I just brokered 5 loads with one phone call in about 3 minutes.
My favorite part too is whenever they're doing the demo on there and you look on there and you're looking at a customer because first thing you do is you figure out the type of equipment, where you're going to work, in the area you want to run, and then they find a carrier. Like you go and get a whole bunch of customers or carriers, but the customers are so much more fun because you start looking at these customers that move your kind of freight, right? That fits in your trailer. And then it tells like you can find brokers sometimes on that, but to find a customer and be able to look up the carriers through the customer that are hauling for this customer and call them up and be like, hey man, do you know this customer? Right to their face. And they're like, yeah, matter of fact, I do. I just left there 30 minutes ago. Wow.
Yeah,
I know.
You don't know them motherfuckers, do you?
know. Yeah, I know, right? And then you see you got 5 trucks. I know they haul more freight than that. Do you go through a broker or are you going direct?
Well, I'm going direct now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're doing it.
Right now, I'm going direct. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thanks for the help. I couldn't find that on anywhere until I was on eCarrier, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's see, Michelle wants to know. Hi, Michelle. You don't call, you don't write. I mean, when's the last time we heard from you?
Yeah,
when's the last time you stopped by my office or Shaggy's office and said, hey, guys, I was just thinking of you today. I want to stop by. I want to take you to lunch. When's the last time you did that? I'm going to answer your question anyway, just because it was you. How do we think the war will affect the transportation industry? Your fuel costs are about to go through the fucking roof. It's already coming. It's already there.
You can't stop it.
It's already coming. It's already there.
What's that guy? What else? You think they'll be? It all depends. What if we don't go to war? If we go to war, that's one thing, right?
Yeah,
Frank? If
yeah.
we don't go to war and the fuel prices just go up and the ships stop feeding the ports like they just said they're going to, and people don't go back to work, and there ends up a lot of freight not being filled and a lot more trucks suddenly than there's freight, and the stock market keeps dropping like it is, and the fuel prices go up, what do you think could fucking happen?
Stock market went up. The stock market went up today, the biggest in history.
I know, but the 2 days before that it was down.
Yes,
Tomorrow it's going back down.
it's not going down. It's going up. It's
Well,
crazy.
that's what they said the week before. I watched $12,000 of my guy go bye bye because it went down. Is it gonna? I'm not gonna get that 12 grand back.
Oh, I don't know. I hope we don't go to war because I promised Roger Jones if he got deployed that I'd drive his truck for him while he was gone. I mean, can you imagine me driving Roger's truck?
That's very true. If you're on the load boards, you know what's going to happen, Michelle. Ask Frank. As soon as this stuff does go crazy, anytime there's an advantage with freight or carriers going under, you know why? It's because carriers live on the load board.
Michelle, carriers will not go under. Some small carriers will go under, but they always do because they make bad decisions. And usually
And use dispatching.
it's not just one bad decision that puts your ass in jail. It's several of them in a row. You know, that's why Shaggy does what he does for a living. That's why he teaches these classes, every
I had about 25 calls today.
That's why his phone is out. His phone bill's fucking crazy. That's why he's got people in his office every day. That's why. Trying to teach these guys, trying to get them ahead of the game. And we just talked about this. Maybe you weren't here at the beginning of the show tonight, but let me tell you, the guys that are going through Shaggy's class and are paying attention and are applying the knowledge, they're making it. Those people are buying trucks. They're growing.
Most of them are growing as fast as they can. We can't keep them up of equipment. That's all we get right now. It's equipment. Some of them get hurt because they can't grow fast enough. They want to diversify. People are eliminating company drivers and owner operators. People are knowing that because of me and Frank, are knowing that all they got to do is ask for the freight and be able to back it up. And we're not talking about asking for freight going everywhere. We're talking about asking for the freight that they want.
That's correct.
At the rate they want to, with surcharge.
And the good thing about being a broker is you have access to a lot of people. You don't have access to the big companies because they don't use brokers, but you have access to a lot of people. If you will take the knowledge and use it, apply it, make a plan, and then just move very, very steadily forward with your plan. Don't get in a hurry. You don't have to. Just mind your business. That's all you got to do.
Hey, guys, while we're talking, we have lots of questions. I ask questions away about brokering, dispatching, bidding, lanes, trucks, equipment. What kind of equipment should I buy? We're always open. We're trying to stick to some certain topics like fuel surge tonight. Keep asking questions. We're going to be doing why you use brokers. You don't have to use brokers. You know how many carriers like Heath out of Alabama and other people that the only reason they use broker boards was to call some people up and get an idea before they got set up with them where the problems were. And then he called up and went direct. Like this. He said, oh, you got problems in Alabama at this place? I'm a flatbed. I haul stone. I haul lumber. Why are you using all these brokers when I'm right next door and I like these lanes? And now he gets Christmas presents from these guys all the time, and he's growing. He's like 5 trucks ahead. Right, Frank? Who said you had to use load boards or brokers right off the back?
But the load board, I mean, if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of relationships and you don't know a lot of people and you go on the load board, okay, to get your loads, just see the load board for what it is. It's a place to start. That's all it is. It's a place to make a few phone calls, build some relationships. I just told you 5 minutes ago. I just said it. These carriers call my guys on Thursday afternoon and they go, what do you got for me next week? Well, I got 5 loads. How many do you want? Oh, I'll take all 5. Instead of getting on the fucking load board, finding a carrier, checking his credit, checking his safety record, exchanging paperwork, doing that whole dance, negotiating a rate, doing all that. Takes an hour to move a fucking load. And my guys in my office, my girls, shit, they'll move 5 loads in 20 minutes, 6 loads in 20 minutes because we use the same people all the time.
You know what's crazy too? I don't find brokers. Fuck finding brokers on Facebook and Reddit. Man, half the fucking brokers on Facebook don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's why they're on Facebook. They're not on. You don't find carrier. You can't. Like they're on there because that's where you guys are at. But that's not where you want to be because real people are out there working. That's why they disappear off Facebook so much. It's the ones that are lost and still figuring things out on here because the rest of them are freaking busy making money. You know what I mean? And recommend the load boards are doing. You never get away from a load board. A load board is a tool to see what Frank's moving freight for if he uses it. A load board is a tool for me to watch and look for brokers coming on that I've never seen before in areas that I want to run. And it doesn't matter whichever way you use the load board, whether you use it as a tool where you're freight chasing for the highest rate, or if you're on there posting with direction and building a dedicated local or regional lane. Doesn't matter. Either one can be done before you start or after, and half of you don't do it anyways. Let alone post with direction. Fuck, I could go look for half you guys out there. You tell me how great you are, and you want a dedicated run, but no one can find you. You know, a lot of people use the load boards to find people, but they never post a load. But how do I find you when you're not letting me know? And then you get mad about it because when you post, they always call you a stupid shit because they're supposed to know where you live and where you want to go. And then if you ask where you want to go, so it's like you go out there and you go from Charlotte and Indianapolis to Charlotte. Next thing you know, you got 30 brokers that have freight for a whole fucking year going between 20 Charlotte, Indianapolis. But instead, you got to be like Jonathan, where you're supposed to gouge them through the roof and make the biggest prices because it's all about that. Or you guys can be the ones that know your cost. You go out there and do $3 or $3.40 or $3.50 and adjust it like Frank said, based off the fuel surcharge and inflation going up on your expenses, and do it for 52 weeks. And actually have the $180,000, $200,000 per truck in your bank account after you pay yourself in your truck, trailer, fuel, fixed cost, and escrow. But we don't ever do that because we're all caught up running from quick pay to quick pay, week to week. Breakdown to breakdown. You got 3 company trucks that are all one's down, 2 barely feed the next one. You guys call that fun because you feel like you own something. And then the other guys out there with 15 owner operators making them pay for everything, putting away $300,000 to $500,000 a year, probably brokering the freight to them, making another fucking $300,000, $500,000 a year. And then when they all leave, he still dispatches them too and makes another $150,000 a year. But you're pissed because he don't own no trucks. You look better with yours. Hey, go ahead, Frank. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, go ahead, Frank. I was just kind of a little mad.
You got to diversify. That's what you got to do. You diversify. You got to make a plan. You got to make a plan to diversify. Make your plan to diversify. Diversify your plan. Swap it around every Thursday. Diversify your plan. Plan your diversity, and then move forward with the plan.
Yeah, what he said. Right there, that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. He said, there you go. Now we got a good question. Finally, Jonathan opened up with a real question. I just started a brokerage. Well, there you go, Jonathan. How do I get customers? You know, for a guy that talked that smart about fucking rates and freight and chase them, they're going, how to get customers, right? You see what he just said? All that talking about lanes, money.
I'm not paying attention to that.
And it's like, how do you get customers? And you're like, well, obviously you know your money because you just been talking about it for like fucking an hour.
Fucking hour.
Yeah, and so if you know your fucking money, then you probably know where you want to run. If you know where you're running, why don't you go find customers with your kind of freight when you want to run and walk your happy ass in there and say, hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm obviously now an expert because I just told Frank and Shaggy how I am on knowing rates and how to negotiate, and go in there and tell them how much you want to haul their freight because that's the same thing a broker does.
But if you go in there talking like the last 3 drivers that have come in Ricky's shop and applied for a job, if you go to in a brand new customer, hi, how you doing? My name's Fred. I'm here. I want to haul your freight. But listen, I don't run the East, okay? I don't go up there. I mean, I don't do, and I know you might have customers up there, but this is about me, okay? Not you. Fuck you. I only like to run to Dallas, Texas, and back, and I won't do it for less than. So if you do like these drivers are doing, Ricky, tell them everything you will not do. It'll be a very short meeting. If you're not inclined to go in there and provide a service that they need, that they desire, that they are willing to pay for, you won't be around long. They will show you the door, even if you bring donuts. Oh God.
You answer this question?
How do I decide on my rate on a specific lane? Well, here's what you got to do, man. You got your rates, right? I mean, do you?
Yeah, you just went to my class like 4 times. You'd be a butthead. So
Yeah.
it's like, first you understand your cost, and your cost plus the fuel, and you add your fuel surcharge on it. Then you go tell the motherfucker how much you want for that lane. And if you're going to an area where you don't have freight, you better make sure you're thinking about your 7-day average to cover that at the end of the week. Because if you don't end up, you charge more, and then you lose 3 times on the next 3 loads, and you don't make your 7,700 for the week, then you're a fuck nut. Or 9,000. Or
you got to
10.
know your costs. Hey, newsflash, guys. Newsflash. There's not a shipper in the world, not one. And if you want us to, Shaggy and I will get out the shipper list and start with AAA shipping. And we'll go all the way to Z. And if we do, we will read off every single shipper there. And I got news for you. This is going to hurt. You ready? Not one of them gives a fuck what your cost is. Not one of them. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. Most of them, if you go in there and you go, well, my cost is $2.12 a mile, they're going to go, the fuck's that got to do with my ping pong balls?
How much did you want to charge for my load again? That's all I care about. How much you're charging?
That's all I care about. I don't care what it costs you to run your truck. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
So what is my rate again?
Not one of those people gives a fuck what it costs to run. If you're going to set a rate and you want to get the business, you got to be competitive on some level. And again, and Jesse will back me up here. Okay. Again, you don't have to be the first call carrier. You can be the third or fourth, and you'll be better off because you'll make more money.
Frank, hold on. I got my rate because every week when I start my truck and I go sell customers, I get on DAT and I look at my lanes and I look at what the 15 averages. And if the rest of them got to pay it, those other motherfuckers got to pay it too. Yeah. And if it's not on my sticky note, and I'm keeping my visor on my truck every week, then it ain't fucking true.
I got some more bad news for you while we're on the bad news thing. All those receivers and shippers out there, okay? Because I see these guys on the internet. They're complaining about, they shut off the restroom. We ain't got no restroom. I got some more bad news for you. They don't give a fuck if you go to the bathroom. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't care.
And I got it. So let's help Jonathan, right? So it's like whether you're a carrier. So we're going to give everybody the best tip because they're all scared to talk to customers, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to say, let's talk to the 37 people with us. Listen up closely. Anybody can go to a customer. But before you go to the customer and try to back solicit Frank or a broker that you're working for, let me tell you a secret. This is where everybody's failing. This is like the tip of the night for you guys. Take all your customers and put them in a list, right? And Franco can add to it. Look at those customers and tell me, if you walked in there, what kind of trailers would they use and what would the freight be that they're putting in that trailer? And what kind of equipment would it take to secure it to make sure that your carrier that you're supposed to be using would get it safely to A and B? And then once you figure all that out, and you can tell me about the company, where it's located, the multiple stops there, how many operational places, how many locations they have. Is there a corporate office? Do they have just warehouses? You get all that stuff figured out. Or is it a place that's outbound? You should be able to figure it out ahead of time, right, Frank?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you guys are all making the calls and figuring this shit out. Like, whoa, that's another one. Stupid ass. You should have researched it already, dumbass, and figured that shit out. So once you figure out what you're doing, type open deck, dry van, reefer, refrigerator, cars, houses, whatever, doesn't really fucking matter. In dumps, open deck, end dumps, whatever it is, power only. All these customers are the same. They just have different products, different ways they ship it. You need to know that because they're not going to tell you. So now you got to look over. Now that you have all that information, well, you're not done yet, right, Frank? You got to tell. So when you're looking at that customer, whether you send him an email or you guys walk in to his door like Frank likes, or you call him, I don't give a fuck which way it is. You're going to be put on a spot where you're either going to be like Frank, get to the point, I got things to do, or they talk to you for a little bit, then they get busy and they got things to do. And only 20% of those people right now with COVID are either going to be the guy or the guy next to the guy or that guy. Whether you think it's a gatekeeper or not. The 80%, you're going to have to make 5 to 15 calls to find that guy or even figure out what they're doing or trace down who's really the buyer that orders the freight. So then when you get past and figure all that out, now you need to know if I walk in to Frank or call Frank or email Frank, what is 5 problems or 10 lanes that I want to go after that brokers or carriers that already work with Frank are having problems with, or it's not being covered. That's just on the left side. That means lanes that are being left or brokers are trying to move and they don't move them. Then you got to figure out if he uses those brokers, is it just a cheap son of a bitch or does the freight have value? Is there stops to it? Is it urgent? Does it need to get there the next day in a fucking hurry? What is the value of the freight? Is it cheap because water's cheap when it's not in demand? What's involved? Do people want to do it? Where does it go? What is your niche going to be? Then when you figure that out, you got all that figured out. Then the problem is you got to look over your right shoulder as a broker, because if you're a carrier, Jonathan, and you ain't got the trucks to cover it, then and you ain't got no credit because you're not established, because there's 2 different brokers. There's 2 different styles. One is with credit, one is without, and one is freight chasing, and one is relationships. Frank always says there's transactional, semi-dedicated, and dedicated. Those are on the relationship side more, and transactional is all freight chasing. So once you figure that shit out, what you're going to do, then where's the carriers? What are you going to do? Go put it on 15-day average? If the guy puts you on the spot, how are you going to move it as a new person? What, you think it's going to wait for you? You think the carriers in this market are going to wait for you? Hell, half of you guys are so far in your brokerage, what you should have done is you should have been worrying about getting credit and calling all the factoring companies on factoring.org, where you can see them all listed in alphabetical order. It should have got them to approve your credit, or at least know who you're going to talk to. So when you do get the fucking carrier, you don't lose them trying to get your credit approved, because he doesn't trust your fucking quick pay. Once you got all that done, and you got a carrier base of not 10, but maybe 10 carriers with 100 trucks, not 3,000 broker packets all over the United States, because they can't be there where you need them. And you better get those carriers to learn how to talk truckingese, because if you can't become their salesperson and sell those carriers to trust you and be committed to you, then the people that are going to use it are going to be people like yourself. And see, like when you're a new broker and you think about the load boards, not all new carriers are bad people. It's called the load boards are bad. You know why? Because it's not you that Frank's scared about getting rid of the load sometimes. It's the pieces of shit that you're using on the load boards that are going to cancel the loads on you. Then you're going to give up my load. So you figure it out. Isn't that important? Go ahead, Frank. You want to add to that?
It's just all it is. All it is it's a cesspool. It's just a circle jerk. You know, the broker, the the carriers, the small carriers call up a broker and they go, "I see you got this load going from Nashville to Charlotte. Yeah, I got one. Yeah, what are you paying? Oh, I'm paying $1,000. Oh, well, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it." Say, okay, fine. And they hang up, and they call their driver and go, "Well, I got you one from Nashville to Charlotte, but listen, I'm going to keep looking, see if I can find you more money." All day, every day. If you want to play on the load board as a broker, get ready to deal with that. It's all day, every day. And then they'll call you, if they even call you, to tell you that they're not going to pick your load up. That's rare. Most of the time, they just don't show up. So at 4 o'clock, you're looking for a truck. Well, where's my truck? Where's my truck? And they're going, Yeah, well, I never did sign that confirmation. I ain't picking that load up.
You know what always
I
drives
do it all day, every day. And the brokers do the same thing. You got a truck? Yeah, I got a truck. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put you on. Okay, fine. And then they'll hang up the phone and they'll go, yeah, I got a truck to cover it, but see if you can find me a cheaper truck. And then they'll call that poor son of a bitch back and go, you know what? That son of a bitch, that customer, he called and canceled my load. He canceled my load. If you're going to play on the load boards all day, every day, that's what you're going to deal with. Those are the people that you're going to deal with. And those are the people that aren't even committing fraud. That's another story. That's a whole nother story.
That's why I was going to interrupt you, because it's like we don't deal with fucking double brokers because our students know how to verify them and screen them, and we're not looking to work with them. That's the problem. We learn how to talk, and we can hear it in the phone. The call center in the back, the lack of information. The freight guards on carrier. Oh wait, carriers don't have that. Well, I guess you should be friends with brokers that have it.
I don't know if Landstar is a big one, but TQL calls my office every day.
I think they're the worst.
Wanting to know if they can help me move my loads. But on Shaggy's page today, this guy's on there, and there's always that one guy. Well, I don't know. I've been using TQL and they're real good to me. Well, fuck you then, dumbass. Go use them.
Yeah,
why are you here?
One claim.
Yeah, get one claim and tell me how that's working out for you.
Yeah, I've caught a fraudster this week thanks to Shaggy's class. I figured it out. Yeah, that's that. He almost got caught with that same thing that Corey got caught with on the tires, where they used the credit cards and they pay the guy they're buying the equipment from. Now they're doing ammunitions and gun casings and stuff like that. And they'll buy them in partials. They'll pay with forged credit cards, and they'll pay you, and everybody will get paid. But as soon as that product hits their crooked warehouse. Yeah, this is Chase Credit Card, man, fraud protection agency. We want to let you know you're getting taken for $12,000. You know what I mean? Then you call up the customer like, hey, wasn't that guy real? The customer's telling you, yeah, I just got the same call you did on my $15,000. And they're gone. All right, man.
I think would be, finding fraud, talking to people about fraud. There's Kyle finally came dragging in here at the last fucking minute.
He's been
finding fraud, really and truly. Finding fraud is not that hard to do. The problem is most people don't even look for it. They don't think about it. They think everybody's an honest person. Oh, they wouldn't do that to me. Yes, they will. They damn sure will.
Melissa says, look at her marketing. She's like, is there spots open for that awesome map and routing training you're doing on March 2nd?
No, they're all full. Because over at Frank's map training, we're giving away T-shirts. Frank's map training, Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to start up every week. It's free. You don't have to pay or nothing. You just have to bring me, donuts and cigarettes and some beers. And then we'll give you a free T-shirt with your map. Free.
Are you going to fill it out for them, or are you just giving the map?
No, I'll show them how to fill it out because I think it's better if they do it themselves.
She wants a dispatch certificate, too.
Yeah, she just wants to be certified.
She does. She's jealous. She's the one to certify mine.
Yeah, but at Frank's Dispatching and Broker School, we have T-shirts.
So let me see here. Yeah, that's the thing, right, Frank? So if you're able to go as a carrier, right, as a one-truck company, and everybody's like, these guys are so full of shit, you can't go in as a one-truck, two-truck, three-truck company. Now, why do we have so many people on our group that actually have customers of 1, 2, and 3 trucks then? Is it because these guys are too lazy to call?
No, I think somebody tells them that on Facebook. Well, if you've only got 2 trucks, you can't get a customer. They're not even going to. They're not interested unless you got 50 trucks. There are companies out there, some of the big corporations that won't talk to you unless you got 100 trucks or 150. I just happen to know because I know the lady that runs the thing, that Tractor Supply at corporate level will not talk to you unless you have 100 trucks. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk. But guess what? Guess what? 3 AAA, it makes installation and ships it all over the world. They love small carriers.
So did even people like Master Brands and places like that, these cabinet companies. They would rather have 100 small carriers that'll drop trailers before building supplies. I can name off a bunch of stuff. Why don't people go after that? They don't want to do the work?
I think that's part of it. Yeah, they're lazy. They're stupid. It's easy just to have Rogers. Hey, I have hell brokers calling every day with my one truck. Yeah, it's easy, isn't it?
I'm too scared to talk on the phone, but I'm a texting wizard. Will make it. Will I make it?
No, not unless you're texting grandma's recipes or, pictures of belly dancers and shit like that. No, you will not make it.
Well, I've always talked on the phone or had the relationship with the broker before I took loads from them. And when I seen Angie the other night book loads and never even talked to the guy, all by email, and I was just like, they negotiated everything. And I was like, dang, man, I still think not communicating. I don't know, maybe it's the same. Maybe I need to start practicing doing email messaging and seeing how it works. Because, watching that guy lose $1,000 like that, I felt terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we pretty well covered the load board thing and all that. It's just a place to start. That's all it is. It's not, if you're living on it, if that's where you make your living, good luck with that. If you like playing in the sewer all day and dealing with shitty leftover freight, because that's what that is, good luck to you.
That's where they all go. It half the people you under anymore you can't even have a conversation with, and the other guys are new agents for fucking the big brokerages, and they don't know any better. All they do is get paid. E-carrier check, is that worth having with one truck and no trailer? Matter of fact, it is, because what do you think, Frank?
Yes.
I think it is too, because one of the things is there's so many brokers on there and so many customers that you can find on there that actually have their own assets and trailers that will work with you. It's huge.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you're power only, if you don't have a trailer, you depend on people that have trailers, right? Because you're with no trailer, you're not in business. So you depend on those people. Wouldn't it be better if you knew as many of them as you can?
And if you're willing to do the work and network like we teach your class and make those phone calls, there's more brokers on e-carrier check than there ever was on DAT. And they're organized to a precise location. So, like, if you were starting your trucking company out, so let's say we got 32 people, and they're all going to start their trucking company. So what you do is you go to DAT, and you get a load board. And the first thing you do is you think about the 150-mile radius around where you live, and you go to the load board, and you post your truck 150-mile radius for 30 days at a time. You're like, Shaggy, I'm not active yet. I know it. Here's what you say. They call you, and you're like, hi, I'm Frank. What do you need? Well, so you got a truck around where you live. I do. Great. And they're going to go right into the load because they called you, right? You call them, a lot of times they have more urgent about the MC number. When they call you, they're kind of more desperate. So they call you. You find out about the load. You find out they got them coming up right after you go active for the next 50 weeks, every Tuesday and Wednesday, or every Thursday, around there. And you find out you can do 2 a day. Why can't you do that, Frank, before you start?
Why don't you do it before you start? That's the question.
Why don't you pick 2 or 3 cities within a 300-mile radius of you that with your type of freight? And here's where it gets a kicker. If you're going to be in business, how many times can you have a trailer broke down for a month? Well, how many times can you have a load on a trailer where you had a broker get double brokered by TQL Landstar and they want you to pick it up in 5 days? So what I would do is be posting both ways. Anyways, go ahead. I'm going to shut up.
See, I can't get financing for a truck, but I got my 2-door 74 Gremlin. What load board can I book from? Did you call me today like 8 times? Are you the same person that's been calling my house? Hey, how you doing? I want a big Peterbilt, but I ain't got no money.
Hey Frank, did you
What
get
do I
any?
do?
Did you
You
get
tell me
any?
what I do.
Hey Frank, did you get any voicemails this morning around 2 to 4 a.m. from any girls or
No,
guys that sound like girls?
no,
Did you get any work calls this morning that were people trying to call you?
no.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because I told the whole class if they called you and it sounded like a stripper calling you on the phone since you made that post, I'd give them a free map training. No one did it.
No. I had to
Nobody.
get up. I had to get up at 4:30. I'm tired, man. I missed my nap.
Come
Missed my.
on, you know that would have been funny though, right?
That would have been
Somebody
funny.
actually did it.
For
I was
2 minutes.
hoping Shane
I
would
turn my
have.
phone. I'm not like you. I turn my phone off.
I know, but it'd been so great to hear this. Hi, Frank. My name's Sally. I was calling at 3 a.m. I can only imagine. Frank, you should do voiceovers. You should have said text him. I should have. You could have texted him too. I just wanted somebody to do it. There's 27 or 20 whatever of you, and they all failed.
There's a lot more than 27 people in here.
No, my class.
Oh, I don't know about
I
that.
told
But
them to do it. Yeah. I haven't got a call from a driver
there's
before at
about
2 p.m. I
there's
heard
about there's about 50 people in here.
there's a bunch.
Yeah.
That was a lot. What about SB trucks? What's the best load board?
What?
What the hell's an SB truck?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What is it?
Is that straight box truck? Is that like abbreviations for it, Geeky?
SB. What's that?
Step deck, step bus.
Yeah, I
Straight,
don't know I don't know what that is.
I'm straight box truck. Oh, okay.
Uh,
You're gonna have DAT. They got Select Us. There's My Virtual Tree. There's My Virtual Trucks, and then there's like literally, I'm telling you, if you like Google it, there's a bunch, man. You could piggyback Panther. They're so overflowed right now. There's a lot of people miss out, but you guys can go. Most of the trucking companies like Panther, Bolt. Uh, there's one up in South Bend called Express One. I mean, there's so many major expediting companies. You guys think you're the box truck gurus? Dude, these motherfuckers have been around since the automotive industry was in a boom. My dad did the Panther stuff when it was in the first GM rush back in those days. And it was like, hell, I was like, what, 15, 14, probably, Frank? I remember we put that big cat on the back of his van.
oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're cool.
Man, there's more brokers and more freight on e-carrier check than there is DAT for straight box trucks. But the problem is, will you do the homework and the research to find it? And are you talking as a dispatching service, or are you talking about it as a carrier that's your box truck? I hate box trucks. Like literally hate box trucks. I mean, like we've had all the choices in the world to start in the trucking industry. It's like, do you want to lease on owner operators and make $50,000 a year and let them pay for everything just because you learned how to build routes and lanes, or do you want to go out there and rent or buy a box truck so you could be a business owner? And it's like to sacrifice home time, always be fighting for freight, picking up the chicken scraps, feeling like that little dude on the micro machine commercial. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to get him. You got to get a micro machine right now. This is good micro machine. You remember that guy before he died? The commercial. That's what it feels like when all these box truck people are calling us all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh
Everybody
God, man. I don't
as
know.
a carrier. So that's all. It's hard work. You like Jonathan said. You got Select Us. You got My Virtual Fleet. There's a whole bunch of big carriers you can try to help out. They're so overflowed with their customers. They have brokerage. You can use e-carrier check, DAT. I mean, you just got to use everywhere because there's probably I know I had like fucking 15 box trucks, man. And everybody that's been in wrecks has no credit, wants to be a box truck still. Like they're all calling you, like, hey, do you know my insurance is high? Why is your insurance high? I don't know. They came back with 30,000. Why did they come back with 30,000? I just want a box truck. And it's like, because you got 2 wrecks and your credit sucks. Well, what does that matter? Well, the only guy you had a good chance was Progressive, and they look at experience and credit. You don't have either. You're fucked. Oh, and you're in Florida, Georgia too. Why is that bad? Because they like penalize
And
you.
you have a problem with commitments, and you have a problem telling the truth. You're an untruthful, non-committal fucking liar, basically, and we know that about you because
We're insurance company.
you chose to go into the box truck business because you're too fucking lazy to drive a great big real truck like big people.
God, man. We know we love PG. We
You
love
think
box
you can
trucks.
get into business? These people think it's like brokerage. These dispatch services. They think they can get into business for nothing and start doing shit. The problem is, if you got a box truck, you only serve one purpose, and that's to haul about 1/3 of a load somewhere. The fuck is that?
But anyways, with the box trucks though, when you get the box trucks, we're not a big box trucks fan, unfortunately. It's like that's like the Sheldon Moron YouTube channel or something like that. But if you were to do a box truck, number one, you don't want to get caught up in the sacrifice because your expenses are just as much as a semi. You know what I mean? Like,
And
it's
you
the
got
same.
nowhere to sleep. There's nowhere to sleep in one.
So what you got to do, you have to do right. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. With the box truck, they still get you for 13. I mean, if you're in the Midwest, it's like 13 to 18,000. If you're in the South or whatever, certain the wrong state, it's like freaking 18 to 22. And if you have anything bad, but regardless, with your thought, when you have a box truck, you got to start networking just like you're a semi company, and you got to work. And most of the brokers that deal with drive-in, a lot of those brokers are the same ones you're going to be dealing with box trucks because they have the same freight. Really, what it is it's either urgent, it's leftovers, or it's a place where other trucks don't want to go or can't go. But what people don't understand, all these hot shots and stuff, when freight gets bad, the first people to haul box truck freight is semi trucks because they'll take that before they deadhead, and they'll stack two or three of them together just like you. The only thing that stops
But
them from not.
you can buy like a really, really, really nice box truck, like with a padded interior and everything. Get in there and wear a suit and with gloves and offer like a platinum service type deal where you just only haul like priceless paintings and artifacts and
Medical goods, get
that
specialized.
kind of thing, and specialize in that kind of thing. You know, and you
But the
could do
thing,
that. See, if you did that, you'd only really have to haul a couple loads a year because you make so much money.
but like seriously though, like get on the load board, Kiki, and put in your size. Put in like whatever pounds, whatever feet that you're gonna have. Get in the load board, go to the date, click shift, go 30 days out, post your box truck. But don't just post it to go anywhere. First thing you do is post it locally, 150-mile radius around where you live or less. And then pick 1 to 5 cities that are like 300-mile radius around you and post going there and coming back. Even if your truck is covered, even if you're booked out like for a week, I don't really give a flying fuck. Still post your truck. If they call you and they call you and ask you about the truck, network with them. And then let them know you're covered already. But keep it posted. People get mad. Who gives a fuck? Who cares if they say, well, you're just posting to this? Well, you double post, triple post your loads and do your shit too. Go fuck yourself. I'm networking. Why does he keep putting that on there? We got it like 3 times.
Oh,
Anyways, I'm so lost. All right, so anyways, and you need to start networking like crazy because you're fighting a lot of competition. And I agree. I know a lot of people Shanice that work with Amazon and made a lot of money. Melissa wants to know where you got the mattress from.
we got the best mattress deal. It's right down the road from our shop. It's called Shade Tree Mattress. We get our mattresses down there for our big trucks all the time. And
What's that when
yeah,
they dump
I
them
tell you
out?
what, if Roger's still on here, ask Roger about our mattresses because Layla loves their mattress. That's the best one ever. Best one.
What's it?
Mattress
Mattress
Giant.
Giant?
Never heard of them. I don't know.
I've never heard of Shade Tree mattress.
That's because you never been to the shop. Roger says
Yeah,
they
Roger,
are
that's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Where I think you see about giving them like a shout out.
Yeah, they're good people.
Huh.
All the mattresses, I even get all the mattresses from my house there. Roger was up here last weekend You know, we've been over there a couple times. We buy stuff from those guys. Really good stuff.
That's a good point too, man. Karen said it too. A lot of final. Well, we already talked about that. A lot of final white glove furniture, doing last minute delivery for stuff. You know, like for different companies. I see that. Oh yeah, I wouldn't even use them. I would definitely get on if I was a box truck and I'm willing to make the phone calls and network. I would use ecarriercheck.com. Are you got any more to say?
Not about box trucks. It's kind of like hot shots. It's just not my thing. I'm not familiar with it, and I'd rather not give out any information as to give out bad information.
Me too.
I just want to. You know, it would seem to me like
I
you
have
know,
no time to run like a bunch of them. Like if I could run five
yeah,
semi trucks and not own anything and make like a fucking 250, 300,000 a year off five, or even a half million off 10. Yeah, I can't do it.
no, I can't either. In that final mile, that home
Frank's
delivery
already waiting
shit.
for you to start
All
talking
I
about.
tell you, my neighbors, even just in my neighborhood, there's so many just assholes. I could never deliver shit to those people. I'd
Greg,
be I'd be getting in like 8 fights a day with them dumb crying motherfuckers.
Greg's waiting for you to talk about midgets and hot shots. See, he already prepared. Look, he said, watch it. He knew it was coming.
Yeah,
It is a pain in
yeah.
the ass. I don't want to touch freight, load freight, pallet jack freight, move freight, do multi stops of freight, let alone be crammed up in a box truck. I mean, but I'm not against anybody that does it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to do cars either. I don't want to do hot shots either.
No.
I like flatbeds. I like
Flatbeds are good.
refrigerated, and I like dry vans.
Yeah.
I don't even like step decks or oversized. They're a pain in the ass too. Not everybody that does them, all more power to them. Now, if it's just a step deck running around, but I mean, when you start getting into all the permits and the escorts and all that stuff like that, that's a dying breed right there. You know what I mean? That's a lot of work. Final mile is becoming huge in car hauling. It is becoming huge in car hauling because they're eliminating the dealerships. Now all dealerships are pretty much just drop lots. Final, just to drop it off, some guy comes, picks it up, and get it fixed. What was the name of the mattress company again, Frank?
Shade Tree in Tompkinsville, Kentucky.
What are you trying to say, Frank and fucking Ricky or Shade Tree Mechanics too, Melissa?
It's true. It's true.
Terrible. She's so abusive to you.
You ever notice though that every time I come on live or if I come to your house or something, I'm always wearing a shirt. I always have like a shirt on. Always.
I had to take my Shaggy shirt off a few minutes ago. I didn't want you to get mad at me.
I always have a shirt.
You're gonna be like have a beard down here and have your shit longer and Willie Nelson and fucking Snoop smoking a joint when like wait that wasn't Snoop, but they did have long hair.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't even think about it much.
I'm so glad about that too. That you're wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
That's about all I got for tonight. We covered the things we needed to cover.
I never, the ports are going to be crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. Like we have a class coming up on March 7th called Trucking Week, man. It's crazy. We'll be talking about starting trucking companies with equipment, without equipment, compliance, safety, building a product, everything, e-logs and PIN numbers and putting on owner operators and lease purchase and what a trailer's worth, 2 to 10 year plan. We'll learn the wheel. It's a pretty cool class. Pretty much sold out already, and we got like 15 days to go. It's almost like last year again.
In my little group Tuesday night, we're going to talk about the difference between leasing a truck and these lease to own deals and predatory lending and the difference between that and buying a truck, just going and getting a loan and buying a truck. We're going to talk about the differences in those things and how to make that work for you. How you know, brokers might find some value in that. Because their trucking companies, their drivers are always asking for opinions. So,
no, Jonathan, Frank's getting a little old, so Junior has to put tracking devices on him. Instead of putting a linked up device on the truck, he puts it. Frank's got one attached to him somewhere. And he likes to take his shirts off, so we're just lucky tonight. He's here with a shirt on.
If you catch me at Bike Week next week in Daytona, you might very well catch me without one.
Kurt said, "What's the course cost?" That's a good question. I don't really talk about it all the time. I'm not shy. It's Monday through Thursday, Kurt, from 6 p.m. usually till 10 o'clock. But if you get a group like last week that wouldn't shut the hell up and stuff and ask a lot of questions, I feel like Elvis Presley with the groupie convention following me everywhere because they were on there like 12 o'clock with 2 of the nights. And it's Monday through Thursday, a live webinar, 1 week's brokering, 1 week's trucking, and 1 week's dispatching. All 3 weeks, it's like 75 hours. And it's Frank and Penny and all these different trainers that come in and help. And it's $1,300 for you and the spouse. It's a pretty cool class. We usually sell out. There's usually 20, 25 people in every class or more. Might have a problem. Facebook might have a problem with the shirtless. No, they don't really have a problem with the shirtless or stupid shit like that. It's only if it involves certain things. But we don't talk about this stuff. Barb says my class was interesting, Frank. I thought they laughed their ass off when you showed up.
They did. People always do.
They did. All right, you good?
I'm good.
I am too.
I'm good.
Randy Yeager says it's an awesome class. That's crazy. Just keeps getting better and better as you do it. Yeah, he said no shirt's cool, but you have to wear a tie. No ties?
Gave up the ties. Give up the ties. Guys.
Was it off the wall shit topics? We came on talking about fuel surcharge. Why you guys want to use billboards?
I thought we imparted some very interesting and critical information to the trucking industry and people involved in it.
I'm glad we stayed on track.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was good. We even love you and thought you were interesting. Well, thank you. Thank you, Barb. Thank you very much.
She's the one you helped with the trailer, remember?
I remember. I never saw that much chili spread out over a fucking trailer my whole life. That shit was everywhere. Damn. Did you see where the Family Dollar stores have a rat infestation in Tennessee? Have you seen that?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
They got rats into one of their DCs down and around Memphis or something, and they've been delivering rats to their stores. I'm talking about these rats. These are big. These are like thug rats, all right, like city rats. I mean, they come out like people go into the stock room and they go, "Yeah, we know there's some rats back here," and these rats will come right out and stand on the box and go, "Oh, I'm right here, motherfucker. The fuck you want?" I mean, these are rats. These are city rats. These fuckers are this big. And they just put them in all their stores. They've had to shut down like 25, 28 stores because of rats.
Those are the ones like in the city where you run past that one spot and the dude's like, "You're going to buy here again, I'm kicking your ass." You're like,
yeah. There's some bad motherfucking rats, boy. They're bad. They come right out. The camera guys from the TV will go in there, with the big lights and all that. And the rats will come out and go, "Hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. The weather here's nice. Bob, back to you for the weather." Those fuckers are big as a cat.
What's funny is they spread fast. They say once they get in there, the big ones like that. They take it over.
Yeah, they spread like rats.
You know how they got them there?
Yeah, they had them in the warehouse. They got into some feed or something, and they were in the cases. And they got into the warehouse, so they get into all these other cases like they will do, right? And these guys are just packing them up, sticking them on a truck, taking them out to all the stores, and they're delivering rats everywhere. I'm talking about great big combat fucking badass rats.
Hey, Shane wants to know, did you get a photo at midnight by somebody mysterious?
No.
You didn't get a photo at midnight on your cell phone?
Uh-uh.
Nope. Poor guys.
I turned my phone off when I quit for the day. I'm not like you. I'm not on call. Hybrid rats.
Hybrid rats. We're on YouTube. Hey, we got traffic on YouTube tonight.
Yeah.
Like 3 of them. We're moving up in the world.
Yeah. It's pretty. We've had about 40 to 50 here all night on Facebook.
Oh yeah, we've been ripping it. I got all the groups up.
It's coming down now. The numbers are coming down now. We're boring everybody now. They're tired.
Well, it's one of these days we'll get back. I don't know. People's making so much money right now. I guess like it's weird, but I know it's not true because you see because when you turn on Facebook, where John was talking about YouTube, everybody's still getting rich quick. They're yelling about brokers being crooks. So when people are yelling about all that stuff and they're not making money in this market right now, they definitely got problems.
That's a fact. Listen, it's time for me to bounce. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming around. We enjoy the Friday night chat.
What are we talking about next week? Trucking?
Shaggy and I invite your friends, bring a sandwich, get some popcorn. Every Friday night, we want to bring everybody to the dark side with us. We are on a mission from God to push the stupid the fuck out of this business. We are squeezing the stupid.
That's our new saying. This is the real trucker talk where we're pushing the stupid out of trucking.
We're pushing it out. We're pushing out. No more stupid shit around here.
We have to work really hard so we can be the next 2 guys on Sirius.
Well, I heard they got an opening over there as of last.
I did too. You know what I mean?
Oh, did you hear another thing? We don't do politics here, but I'll tell you this: the convoy pulled into a Petro out in New Mexico.
Trucker G or something?
Nah, I got a phone call. They pulled into a Petro, and the Petro turned them away. Would not sell them any fuel. Petro, big corporate boys.
I couldn't really. Well, I don't even want to talk about it, but I could. Anyways, I couldn't see how much I was watching one of the videos because I might or might not be watching it go across. And I was trying to count, man. Like that one guy walked through there, and I see like 50 trucks. I see like a few people on the pass and stuff like that. Just kind of watching. But I watch everything.
I watched it for a little while, but I watched Trucker G, and he was following this flatbed all day. And I can only watch it for like 5 or 6 minutes because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm gonna pass this motherfucker. And my head was about to blow up because they were, I'm going, I get behind somebody like that. If I'm passing this motherfucker, I ain't sitting behind this shit.
I think the guy I'm watching.
And he just sat there, and I'm sitting there going, pass him, motherfucker, pass. He ain't gonna pass him. They're convoys. So I could only watch it for a couple minutes, and then I got off of there.
It was too, and it kept popping back on. I think I was watching Fred Barlman's feed.
Yeah, his popped up a lot, but
I watch him. It's funny. He was walking through all those guys parked in Tucumar, and I was like, man, they're all the way out to the interstate.
Yeah, that's a bunch. Yeah.
But we get to sit back and just watch. And hope.
I'm just not a good joiner. I'm just,
I just, it's not even that because I don't like repercussions and have to start over again and then all that stuff. And it always drives me. I'm like, I just, when all this stuff's happening, I still got to pay my bills. I still got to work. And then when it's done, I still got to work. And that's the problem with a lot of these things that go on is whenever we get up in the morning, not all of us can say, well, we're going to go and take a week off. We want no money, or 2 weeks off, or 3 weeks off, daughters, and you may lose what you got. But I can't do that. And it's hard for people. Because I see everybody still working while this is going on. Man, I see so many trucks across Indiana today. It was like nuts.
Crazy.
So I tell you, and so that's the thing. How far will it go? Some people make quotes that it's going to be like whatever the year was, the 70s or whatever. And again,
I don't know.
I just don't get involved because I'm not that much. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because like I own my own business, right? Like you.
Yeah.
And like my accountant says, I'm scared of the taxes, but I can't do anything about it. Next year it'll be up. This year it'll be down. 4 years it'll be up. 4 years it'll be down. But I do know that I have so many bills per month and I need to keep making this much over it, plus keep adding to it for retirement and move forward. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm not relying on no government to count on it for me. So I don't need the government.
I don't either. They're just a pain in my ass, and I do everything I can do to get around it. That's it. That's it. It's pretty simple. Anyway, I didn't want to get off on that. I just wanted to say I would not follow that flatbed for more than like, I don't know, half a mile. And I'm coming around, motherfucker. I'm gonna put your ass to swinging in a minute. We're going for a ride.
Yeah, well, actually, funny, Jonathan. Sometimes you get to the point where there's not enough losses, and you make so much money that you're always making money. You just have to pay.
All you got to do is buy a truck.
I do buy trucks. I buy everything.
No. I mean, one truck. That's all. That's all it takes.
Well, yeah, but then you put it into your business and let the business pay for the truck that you didn't pay taxes on, that you did pay taxes on. You run off and you just keep revolving it, and then you don't have to worry about it.
If you own a truck and you're still paying taxes, you need a new accountant. Bad. You need
to talk.
You need to come to Uncle Frank's house. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. I mean it. Help each other. Do each other so we go. We're going to push the stupid the fuck out of this business if it kills both of us. That's what we're going to do. But as for tonight, that's all I got. Thank you, guys.
I just seen that background back there. It's pretty cool. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in on Friday night, The Real Trucker Talk, where we're going to push the stupid shit out of the business. Is that what he said? I like that. And hope you make people wake up and learn about diversification, learn about multiple streams of income, learn what the fuck you're going to do when you spend all your life savings and your credit to jump into a business because somebody told you it's a great idea, and then your truck breaks down and you can't run for a month. See you, Janice. What's up, Ricky? Learn about getting off the load boards, learning that brokers can't tell you what to do, and learn that you have the freedom while the government's involved to go and make money and grow your company and make as much as you want. You aren't dictated by factoring companies and dispatching services and all those people that call you when you get your authority done. You can get a load board and start networking before you go active, and you don't have to go and pay your insurance in the first 90 days because you won't lose your authority. So stop listening to stupid people that are impulsing you to do dumb things. And you can still go out there and find great local shops like Ricky to do your company's maintenance program, and they'll help you and teach you and work with you while you're building your company because they won't work too if you'll do the work. If you guys are out there today and you're running a business and you hire an owner operator and your orientation process is about 2 hours, you got serious fucking problems. I'm telling you. Just want to let you guys know that. Because trucking's coming up in a few weeks, and you need to understand what it's going to be like. If your husband or driver's out there running through a town the size of where Ricky lives, light signal changes to 45, the speed limit drops, light changes, it goes back up. Lady pulls out in front of you, hit her, your driver, whether you're non-CDL or CDL box truck or whatever. When that driver hits that lady and her head's laying on the hood and the kids are screaming, his window's busted out, he was or was not wearing a seatbelt. The kids are yelling, my grandma's dead or my mommy's dead. She's not moving, sir. Can you help her? What's the first 5 things your driver shouldn't do? And if the DOT comes back to your office because there's a fatality or towaway, are you really prepared? If your truck breaks down tomorrow and it's out for 4 weeks for a NOx sensor or turbo or DEF, how much money do you put away? Did your warranty really cover it when you bought it from Arrow? What are you going to do if it don't? What if you do it, the warranty covers it, but the parts are 3 months out? And your driver that you worked so hard to get quits and you can't find another one for a month. Will you scratch that up as a loss? Or should you be prepared and know what to do to fix all that from the beginning? Are you going to start working on it when you lose all your money? When your credit's screwed up and your safety's depleted? Savings are depleted? What's up, Adam? 2 months. I agree 100%, Adam. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Share the video, share the page. Check me and Frank out next Friday at 8 o'clock. I'll pop up sometime through here to wish you guys a good weekend. And don't forget to check out G3 Trucks and Frank's group over on the next page. He'll be live every Tuesday night at 7 Central Time, 8 Eastern. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm tired. I've been working really hard all week from like 9 till 1 in the morning. Well, actually 7 to 1. Not a lot of sleep, so I'm ready to go home and chill. You guys be good. 1 out of 4 are good drivers. Fuck that, man. You have a product at the front of the house and Frank to back it up like Adam does. Owner-operators are better. To me, but see, everybody's different. Some people like those big chicken trucks like Adam just bought. Man, he just got a new truck the other day with the fleet. Pretty truck. I guess that's what you got to haul when you got to hustle with the produce, right? Chicken clucking trucks. Peace out, guys.